everyone, and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Cooper, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours, and results. I'm got a very loaded show for you guys and girls today. Well, there's a lot to talk about, but it's a big week here on the YouTube channel, so please subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that like button. The next 4 nights are going to be fully filled with a lot of content. Tonight, as you're watching this Kick It to Scoops, tomorrow night at 7 p.m, it's the inaugural, not the inaugural, the 3rd edition of the Scoops Medal. Wednesday night at about 7 p.m. as well will be the debut of the AFLW show hosted by yours truly. And on Thursday night, a huge interview with a big name guest will be revealed in due course, but will be published Thursday night at probably 6 or 7 p.m. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Now, all right, now it's time to go through some of the segments today. The world famous segment Scoops goes bang on the score review debacle. Kane Cornes comments on St Kilda. My team of the week, get a review round 24. Mention the finals, as we'll probably more preview it in detail the following week, as this is the bye week. I will reveal my all-Australian team reveal. I'll go through my Supercoach score, the final round, and yeah, just my final thoughts. So we'll start off with this. You want me on Cameo? Head to cameo.com/Cooper G. You want me to roast a friend, wish someone happy birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/Cooper G. Sorry, I'm just talking to the big name guests at the moment. They're messaging me while I'm recording this. This is, yeah, just too sorry, James. I'm just talking to my big name guest. They just messaged me while I started recording this, so had to get back to them, of course. But yeah, cameo.com/Cooper G. Want me to roast a friend, wish someone happy birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/Cooper G. I want to aim for, as I said, for 20 likes to this video. We're about 670 odd subscribers away from 3,000. Once we hit 3,000, we will be giving away some prizes, and I mean it. At 2,000, we gave away some prizes, but the 3,000, when we hit the 3,000 milestone, the prizes will be even more bigger. All right. Now, I just want to reiterate this. Look at these. I'm going to have to get rid of the banner here for a second. Just look at some of the graphics I made for the teams that are playing finals. I made these last night. Now, the first final, that will be on Thursday night at the MCG. It'll be Collingwood and the Demons. Well, you can see there I put Geordie DeGoey and Christian Petrarca as the picture for the graphic for this game. Yeah, I'm not going to give my predictions, but Nick Dacos will not play. Will Darcy Moore and Nathan Murphy return for the Demons? Will Bailey Fritsch be okay despite coming back on? Unfortunately, Jake Melsham looks like he's only in his ACL. So who's going to come in for him? Is it Tom McDonald or an Adam Tomlinson? We'll have to wait and find out there. On Friday night, the elimination final at the MCG will be Charlie Curnow's Blues hosting the Swans Friday night that week. Not this week, but the week after. It's going to be a tough one. Charlie, for you guys, they're starting to get the cavalry back. Will they stay fully fit? The Swans, Tom Papley, will he return for this clash? He should. We'll have to wait and see. That'll be Friday night. Now, here we go. A Saturday afternoon clash at the MCG, not Marvel. It's my Saints, Mateus Filippo, hosting the GWS Giants, Tom Green. It's going to be a huge clash, an elimination final. I'm just so proud of the boys for getting to this monumental occasion. Hopefully they can keep going further. At the MCG, though, really surprising. Max King should return. Will Dougal Howard return? Seb Ross, will he return? For the Giants, will Sam Taylor return? There's question marks that he may not even be fit for that final, so fingers crossed he doesn't play for our sake because he's an elite defender. But they won yesterday without him. So it's really going to be interesting to see how they go there. And then obviously you got the qualifying final at the bar between Saturday night, that one will be, and it's the Brisbane Lions and the Port Adelaide Football Club. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting now. Unfortunately, I don't have the graphic pop up here, but it's on my Facebook and Instagram page if you want to go check it out. If Dane Zorko, Lockie Neal and Connor Rosie, great graphic. Go check it out on my Facebook page. AFL information, trade rumors and results on Facebook, and AFL Info Live on Instagram. All right, it's time for the world famous segment. Scoops goes bang. Oh boy. The score review debacle. Now, they were rightfully criticised for how they handled the score review in Adelaide Sydney clash. But now they wanted to admit that they review everything. And now I think they're slightly exaggerating it now. They're reviewing almost anything that looks half debatable, which, I mean, I understand. I don't fully hate it. But it's just the way they constructed themselves. Like, they wouldn't do this 3/4 of the time in the season. But now, because they had one bad mistake, they're now doing it for everything. That's what I dislike the most, that they say that they don't like it. I mean, that they stuffed up, they admit they stuffed up, and then now they're reviewing almost everything. They should have been doing that from the start. But now there's some things where they're reviewing which, quite frankly, they really should temper it down a bit. But it's just a bit over the top. Okay, and I just think they need to change it. Now, Kane Cornes. Kane Cornes. Kane Cornes. Volcano. You've been shitting on St Kilda all year, mate. Last week when we beat Geelong, you finally admitted you were wrong about the Saints, and they've been fantastic this season. Now, we had a 12-point loss to the Lions, which we'll get detail later. But then you're talking about fumbling in game. Like, every club doesn't do that, Kane. And now that's what you're justifying to say, oh, if they dish this up in finals, they're going to get smashed. Seriously? No teams fumble. We played the Brisbane Lions at home, who haven't lost in like 29 games in a row at that point. 29 of the last 33 or something like that. Or 32. Yeah, they're 30-3 now, so 29-3 they were. Like, seriously, we've had a good bloody effort. We could have won that. Could have won it late. We were in front at one point. Remember, it kicked a goal. It was a third of quarter, I think. Yeah, it was the third. So, they easily could have gone either way. And to say that if we dish up that in finals, we're going to get smashed. We just played the best, the top two side at their home ground in a state without Max King, Seb Ross, and Dougal Howard. And we competed with them. Did very well. I was proud of how they played. Disappointing that there's a few little turnovers here and there. But it had nothing really to do with fumbling, Kane. It was just skills. Not so much decision-making, but skills. Brad Hill did it a couple of times. It's frustrating. But we're playing finals, Kane. You doubted us all year. You admit you're wrong last week, and then you go back to shitting on us the week after. That's typical. But yeah, Kane, lift your game. All right, it's now time to go through for the final time this season, my round 24 AFL Team of the Week. Last one for season 2023, and a very interesting one. From the back line, the pockets, Jaden Laverde and Lockie Whitfield. Fullback, Tom Stewart. Half-back line, the flankers, Jack Sinclair and Dan Houston. Centre half-back, Cal Wilkie. Wingman, Isaac Smith and Errol Goulden. Centreman, Tim Kelly. Half-forward line, the flankers, Oscar Allen and Jack Ginnivan. Centre half-forward, Tex Walker Forward pockets, Toby Green and Bailey Fritsch. Full forward, Nick Larkey. Ruckman, Rowan Marshall. Rovers, Tom Green and Rory Laird. Interchange, Matt Rao, Dustin Martin, Adam Trelaw, and Andrew Brayshaw. Sub, Caleb Sarong. The emergencies. It's interesting. The emergencies: Tom Mitchell, Tom Liberatore, and Bailey Scott. And Zach Merritt. Comment down below what you think of the team. It was one that was pretty easy for me to pick. That 4 line was pretty straightforward. There was no real positions that really made it hard for me. It was more the bench. Let's see the emergencies there: Tom Liberatore, Tom Mitchell, Zach Merritt, and Bailey Scott. Reasons: Laverde. I mean, Essendon were terrible. They had 31 possessions and like 13 marks and like 12 intercept possessions. It's very hard to ignore a performance like that. Tom Stewart had 28 disposals and was Geelong's best player along with Isaac Smith. Lucky Whitfield, 32 possessions, deserved a spot in the back line. Jack Sinclair, 30 disposals, again, 87%. Do I need to say any more? Cal Wilkie, 21 disposals, dominated up in the back line, like 12 marks as well, deserved a spot in the team. Dan Houston, 27 disposals, deserved a spot in the team, a lot of metres gained. Isaac Smith on the wing, 1 goal, 36 disposals in his farewell game, had a great game, deserved a spot in the final team of the week for the season. Tim Kelly, over 30 disposals, great efficiency. Was an elite ball user, clearances, tackling machine, deserved a spot on the team, had a great year, Tim Kelly. Errol Goulden on the wing, 2 goals, 42 disposals. Do I have to say any more? Oscar Allen kicked 4 and had a good game. Tex Walker kicked 9, obviously. Ginnivan kicked 3 and 17, deserved a spot on the team. Toby Green kicked 4, had about 15 disposals, deserved a spot on the team. Nick Larkey kicked 9, obviously deserved a spot on the team. Bailey Fritsch kicked 5, and 3 of those in the last quarter, and got the Demons to win when they kicked 6 goals in a row. Interchange Matt Rao, a lot of contested possessions, a lot of clearances, deserved a spot on the team, despite the Suns' pathetic performance against North Melbourne. Dustin Martin deserved a spot on the team, a goal and 33 disposals. Adam Trelaw, 2 goals and 32 possessions. Andrew Brayshaw, he was terrific as well. 33 disposals, kicked a goal. Great amount of clearances, and a lot of good metres gained and efficiency. The sub Caleb Sarong, pretty similar to Brayshaw, and it deserves a spot. The team, Mitchell, Liberatore, Merritt, and the next mids, and Bailey Scott, you can put wing half back type position. So let me know your thoughts on my final AFL team of the week for the season. Comment down below. So if it feels. So I keep getting this directed because I've got a lot of guests planned, and I'm recording them today. So I'm getting. All right. Now, it's time now to go through reviewing round 24, and it was an interesting round, gents, wasn't it? Was it GWS? Was it the Bulldogs? It was the Giants in the end. The Bulldogs didn't deserve to play finals anyway. We go all the way back on Friday night. It was Essendon 31, smashed by the Pies 101. Plain and simple, they were smashed in the first quarter. It was like 45 points at quarter time. The Pies are dominant. Josh Jacobs, Ginnivan, Tom Mitchell, DeGoey. It was a pretty great performance from them. And really, other than Laverde and Zach Merritt, no other Essendon players can hold their head up high. They were embarrassing, and the Pies secured top spot. Well, this game was very interesting. North Melbourne and Gold Coast in Tassie. North Melbourne, if they lost, they would have had pick 1. But they won. 132 to Gold Coast 97. Gold Coast kicked the first 3 goals of the game. They really kicked the first 3 goals of the game, and I thought, well, as expected. Then got even, and Gold Coast got to about as much as 29 points out in front in the second quarter. Then got even, and then they lost the game. Really bad performance from the Suns. You can say about the draft pick, but they get a trade with Jed Walter, but they get more draft leverage now with the trade and the pick. They might get more now, being 4 instead of 5, etc. I'm sure they will, but it was the pathetic performance in the end, really. Real was good, but outside of that, there wasn't many good contributors. I know they missed King and Lukosius and Pally, but that doesn't excuse the performance that they had in Tassie, and it was North Melbourne who hadn't won a game in over like 20 days. So pretty bad if you ask me. The next game, the Hawks 56 defeated by the Dockers 93. Hawthorn lost to the Dockers by 37 points. Great win for the Dockers. I thought Hawthorn were disappointing considering how they've been the last 6-8 weeks. Dockers are around them on the ladder and how they've been playing this year. But I thought Hawthorn could have been in this. And Freo, to their credit, were dominant the whole game. Tom Emmett was great. Andy Brayshaw, Caleb Sarong, Jai Miskick 3. Walters was all right before he got subbed off. Tactically, Hawks, it was pretty disappointing. Carl Amon was one of their best players again, but there wasn't many major contributors for the Hawks, and Dylan Moore as well, so there was. But really disappointing if you're a Hawks fan, and they didn't end the season in the last game well at all. Now, the game at the Gabba, it was Brisbane Lions 72 defeated my State 60. We still secured a home final and we lost, so I don't really care. The ladder position, 5th, 6th, doesn't matter. Being 6 means you get a better draft pick, and 5th and 6th both mean the same thing from the finals. They're both in a home elimination final, so doesn't worry me. But yeah, I would have loved to obviously win this game. But as I said earlier, competitive in the game the whole way. Timmy Membrick 3 was good. Jack Hayes back from an ACL injury. Round 6, 2022 was his last game. Had some ACL injuries, some foot issues, some hamstring issues. VFL had a week off of soreness in between that. Played 2 VFL games this year, mid-season. Then missed a couple. Then came back for about 3 or 4. And now he got his game. And he'll probably be out for Max King. But great to see. And he got his return goal, which is always nice to see. He kept us in it at that point. And he got better as the game went on. Rowan Marshall and Jack Sinclair, absolutely awesome. What do I have to say every week? They're both phenomenal. Lockie Neal was Brisbane's best player. I thought Joe Danaher stepped up at times. He missed a goal square, though. But yeah, it was a close game, and Brisbane just got the win by 12 points. They scraped over the line, but they got the win in the end. Saturday night at GMHBA, in Isaac Smith's last game was Geelong 79, defeated by the Bulldogs 104, 25 points. If people just say at me, oh, the Bulldogs didn't scrape over the line, champs. They were down at 3/4 time by 8 points. How is that not a scrape? Scraping over the line. Geelong had their VFL team too, mind you. I didn't even use that in the post. They had a VFL team out. They had about 10 players there. They had 7 in this game and 3 additional before this game, like Blix Arves, etc. Cam Guthrie. So, there's an X. Geelong, with the team they had, did better than the Bulldogs. Bulldogs didn't deserve this win. Bulldogs played 1 quarter, the last quarter. They didn't deserve the win, but they got the win, and they thought their seasons was, they could be playing finals, but until the Giants won, that was over. Done. Beveridge, questions need to be asked. Yes, it was their first win at GMHB in 20 years, but they beat the VFL team, so how much credit do you really give them there? But Liberatore and Treloar were their best 2 players for sure. For Geelong, Tom Stewart was good and Isaac Smith, their best players. Do you reckon Gents Isaac Smith could have gone around again? I thought he easily could have. Now, the other game, Saturday night at Optus Stadium, it was the Eagles 78, defeated by the Crows 123, Adelaide by 45. I'd honestly, truly be disappointed if I was the Eagles. Their 2 retiring greats in Shannon Hearn and Luke Shuey played their last game, and Nick Nat was part of the celebrations as well. They were really good for 3 quarters. And then they just gave up. Really. And they pretty disappointing. Shannon Hearn reckons they ran out of gas after the game. Him and Luke Shuey were talking to Fox Footy. And Hearn reckons they ran out of gas. That's no excuse, though. It's a disappointing ending for a club retiring 2 greats of their club, Luke Shuey and Shannon Hearn, 2 former captains and a premiership player. It's just really disappointing how their careers ended for the team for the club that didn't perform too well in the last quarter. But to credit them, they were good in the first 3 quarters. You know, Tim Kelly, Oscar Allen, Luke Shuey kicked a nice goal early on his left foot, vintage Luke Shuey. But yeah, it was disappointing for them how that game finished. And obviously, they'd be happy with how they ended the season, I suppose. The Bulldogs win. They almost beat Essendon, and they were competitive against the Crows for 3 quarters. Now, on Sunday at Adelaide Oval, Adelaide 94 defeated Richmond 63, Port by 31. This was less convincing if you're a Port fan. I'd be concerned a little bit. We could say they were taking it easy, and they probably were. But how they performed there was pretty bad for parts of that game. And Shai Bolton, Dustin Martin did all right. Noah Bolter did all right up forward. Took some good marks. It's just, they got the win. That's all they needed to do. They couldn't go on top spot. I get that. Or second spot to host Brisbane. But it's just the way they played it. Just wasn't really convincing. They'd hope they don't want to dish that against a finals team because they will lose if they play like that. But nonetheless, they got the win. Butters and Rosie were terrific as always. Will Charlie Dixon return? Will Trent the Cannon McKenzie return? We'll have to wait and see. Will Scott Lysette play? He was managed minutes in the Sandful on the weekend. 8 touches and 8 hit-outs. Not good at all. But maybe they just want to give him a little bit of a run. I don't know how much game time he played in the Sandful, but that's still a bit of a concern. That's not big stats at all. Also, that's pretty poor, actually, when you think about it, even for a ruckman. But yeah, especially against Sandful opposition. So, yeah, let's see if they come back. Now, the Swans and the Demons. Swans 56 defeated by Melbourne 77, Melbourne by 21. Again, a bit similar to Port Adelaide. Sydney were up for 3 quarters and Melbourne would have been concerned. It was Bailey Fritsch getting 3 goals in the last quarter when it looked like he might not come back on. Petrarca and Viney. Those 3 players stepped up for Melbourne, and the rest of them did not even bother to show up, really. Those were the 3 that got them the win single-handedly. And Melbourne can thank them for getting the win. Otherwise, they were losing this. Swans were all over them for 3 quarters, or just about 3 quarters. Then Melbourne hit the last 6 goals of the game. Credit to those 3 I just said, Viney, Fritsch, and Petrarca. The rest of them, as I said, didn't really want to turn up and play properly. A lot on the line for the Swans, and the home final was on up for grabs. Instead of hosting the Saints, they're now away against Carlton. So they'll be disappointed there in how that game ended. But Errol Gordon, 2 goals, 42 disposals was awesome, as I said, for the Demons. Petrarca, Viney, and Fritsch kicking 5 were their best players. And the final game of the round, the Giants win, they play finals. They lose, the Bulldogs play finals. They win, the Bulldogs don't play finals, and that's what happened. Carlton 73 defeated GWS 105, defeated by GWS 105, GWS by 32 points. Well, the Giants, I said, beware the Giants all bloody season since like round 2. I said, beware the Giants, the dark horse. And then I said about 4 weeks ago, the dark horse are no longer the dark horse. They are in the 8, and they mean business, and business is booming. And, well, they made the 8. There's been no more bigger supporter of the Giants this year than me. That's not the club, obviously. No bigger non-GWS fan, member, etc., or club representative more passionate or more determined and adamant that they make finals more than me. And they did. Even when they were 15th in like round 4 or whatever, I said, beware the Giants. Have had 2 bad games this year against Collingwood and MCG in like round 6 or something, or round 4 or 6, something like that. And against Port Adelaide about 3 rounds ago at the Adelaide Oval. Outside of that, all the other 21 games, because you had the one bye, all the other 21 games, they've been in it or they've won it. And they come from behind against Bulldogs and Ballarat. One just comes to mind. They beat the Giants beat the Swans in the first derby. They lost to them in the second one, but they were in that one. It's like 12-point loss. So they've really been in it. So it was just, it's great to see a hard reward. Adam Kingsley was probably not expecting this in his first year. A lot of people weren't expecting it, but their season ending, or the whole season, was terrific. They deserve to spot the finals. And I'm a bit nervous hosting the Giants, the MCG. Why is it not at Marvel? But beware the Giants. The 2 sides that I've been pumping up all year, my Saints and the Giants, one of them's going to a semi, and I don't know how the Trolls are going to like that, because I'll be right either way. But obviously now hoping it's my Saints. The Giants 32-point win. That Curnow kicked too early, won the Coleman. Congratulations to Charlie. But after that, they didn't really try, did they? Sam Taylor was a late out, as I mentioned earlier. Might not play the first final. Hopefully, fingers crossed he doesn't, because he's playing St Kilda. After that, if they were to win, whatever. But if they lose, then they're done, so it doesn't matter. After Charlie Curnow got his Coleman medal 2 goals early on Jack Buckley. Buckley played better after that. So did the team. They were dominant from the start. And I got a bit worried at the end, the percentage. They actually hit the front of the Giants by like 0.03% or something at one point. Then Zach Fisher got the second last goal for the Blues. Got us an important goal with 3 minutes to go to put us back in front over the Giants. It was great to see. It was really great to see. Zach Fisher, thank you, mate. And then the Saints are now hosting GWS instead of GWS hosting St Kilda. Which, I mean, we still made it anyway, so I would have been happy either way. But an added bonus to now play it at home. So thank you, Zach Fisher. Now, let's review round 24. All right. Let's go. Here it is. It's time for... it's time for the award that is very, very prestigious. The 2023 Scoops AFL All-Australian Team. All right, gents. Ladies. All right. I get it. Okay, thank you. Calm down. All right. Now it's time for my All-Australian Team reveal. From the back line. Actually, you know what? Let's just test something here. We'll do a little bit of background noise. Actually, no, I'm not even going to bother. Anyway, 2023 Scoops AFL All-Australian Team reveal. From the back line, the All-Australian team for 2023. The back pockets, Callum Wilkie and James Sicily. Full back, Sam Taylor. The halfback line, the flankers, Jack Sinclair and Nick Dacos. Centre half back, Darcy Moore. The wingmen, Errol Goulden and Josh Dacos. The centreman, Zach Butters. The half forward line, the flankers, Christian Petrarca and Nick Larkey. Centre half forward, Charlie Curnow. The forward pockets, Toby Green and Charlie Cameron. Full forward, Tex Walker. Rowan Marshall. Rovers, Jordan Dawson and Tom Green. The interchange, Connor Rosie. Caleb Strong. Stephen Canelio and Tim English. I know this is going to be heavily. That's my role. My Scoops all team. I mean, toughest position was probably the defenders. You could have guys like let's analyze it. I had Darcy Moore in that, who was close. I had Aaliyah, Charlie Ballard, Tom Stewart. But they're the back line, the key position guys I've gone with. I've gone with 4. But Wilkie and Sicily are very mobile, and that's what's helped them get a spot over a Aaliyah or a Charlie Ballard. So I've gone for those guys, and they do stop their forwards pretty well, the best. So hence why they're in. Nick Dacos and Jack Sinclair, I mean, bloody obvious why. They're both contenders for the Brownlows, so obviously in. Oh, sorry, then the wingman, Errol Gordon's had a terrific year, and so Josh Dacos. They're pretty clear-cut wingmen for me. Mason Wood started the year off terrific, but these two are the wingmen for me. Zach Butter's been terrific in the midfield. And he's a Brownlow contender as well, so it's an obvious choice there. Christian Petrarca has played a bit up forward, and I had a lot of tools, so I wanted to stop putting tools. And he's a mid that can play forward and has played forward this season, so hence why he's picked there. Charlie Curtis, Coleman medal winner, that's blatantly obvious. Nick Larkey deserved a spot in the team. He got the spot. Well, actually, no, not really. Oscar Allen, I was debating as the fourth tall forward, but I've gone with Tim English as the second ruckman instead of the fourth tall forward. I really was debating this one all night, whether I put Oscar Allen or Tim English. Obviously, they play different positions, but it was more if I wanted to go 4 key forwards and use one of them as a backup ruckman or just use the English. So it was really debatable. I went with Tim English. So Oscar Allen was pretty much next cap off the rank. Toby Green, the best small forward of this season by far. I think gets a lot of possessions and impact in the game and won Jebba single-handedly some games. There's a spot there. Tex was close to winning the Coleman, so he was obviously going to be in there. Charlie Cameron, I probably didn't honestly want to put him in because he had some games where he had some big bags, but then gone quiet in some. And so a few games he got lucky. But there's no one else, so he had to get in. Rowan Marshall, him and English were the two ruckmen I was choosing between, and they're both at the team. I thought Marshall was slightly better than Tim English, so hence why he's on the field. And his last 8 weeks, Rowan Marshall proved that. John Dawson had a really good year, very impactful for the Crows this year. Him and Rory Laird were terrific. Rory Laird was also stiff not to make this team on the bench. Tom Green, some people will probably be questioning this decision, but Tom Green is fantastic, averaging a lot of disposals. One of the most disposal averages this season. A lot of contested possessions, a lot of clearances, a lot of tackles, and was very impactful, like his namesake Green, Toby Green, this season in games where Giants won. And even when they lost, he was still terrific. And to me, was a clear, obvious choice for me. Interchange, kind of rosy, great year, X-factor player, averaged about 26 disposals a game, had a great season, and he loves kicking a goal, just kind of rosy as well. Caleb Sarong, an accumulator, does very well. A lot of meters gaining clearance, more clearances and score involvement, so deserves on the team. Stephen Cornelio, averaging like 27 disposals this year, good for a goal or so, a 2 a game. Deserves a spot. I just mentioned how Tim English got in. So the ones that were stiff for me the most, I did also consider, besides Oscar Allen, Harry Sheasel, and Jack Buckley was another person I was also considering as well, just so you got an idea of who I was deciding between. So let me know your thoughts on my All-Australian team for 2023 and comment yours down below. Now, where are we? Okay, I'm going to go through my Supercoach score. I scored 2,559 and still remained in the top 6%. I was really happy with how my season finished. Stayed in the top 6%. Jumped like 200 rankings. I got top 12% for the round, scoring 2,559. I know some people that got 2,700, and the winner, I think, got over 2,800. It's just ridiculous to think of how you could score so well and stagnate in the ranking. This was one of my best seasons. I've had no trades for the last few weeks. So I always had plays on the field, but Cripps going out meant I had to play Ryan Marrick with the forward mid loophole stuff. To play Ryan Marrick, he did all right. I think I got 59 or 49. Better than nothing, but he did really well in cover. Obviously would have preferred that. Could have got me to, if Cripps was instead of Marrick, he gets 49, gets another 60 odd, gets me over 2,600. But it is what it is. I was pretty content and happy with my season. How did you go in Supercoach this season? What did you score in the final round? Did you win any league finals? I won one of my 4. As I said, some of those scores are ridiculous. Some people got. But I'm happy with how I went this season overall. The leagues are not a great guide. You're playing guys who are crap, who have one good game and eliminate you from finals or in the grand final in that case. So I'm not too worried about that. The overall rankings is where it's at for me. Now, thank you to everyone who joined my Scoops Fan Club Supercoach League 2. Congratulations to you all who won and did pretty well. I was around for most of the season. So congratulations to the winners of that. But, yeah, some final thoughts I have is simply this. You want me on Cameo, head to cameo.com/Cooper G. You want me to roast a friend, wish someone happy birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/Cooper G. Smash the like button. More content over the next 3 nights. some special guest announcements, which I'll probably announce on Facebook and Instagram tonight after this episode, potentially. Keep an eye out for that. Tomorrow night, the Scoops Medal. Wednesday night, the debut of the AFLW show. And, of course, Thursday night, the big interview with a very, very big name guest. I'm not going to give you a teaser yet because I want to make sure it's fully completed first, and then you'll be the first to know. Thank you all for watching. Next week, back same time, Monday night at 7 p.m. Thank you all, and it'll be finals week, and we'll be previewing those games in more detail. Thank you all. The most important thing to remember is go to the Saints, and of course, acknowledge me, the one, and the Saints are playing finals, and any big name guests that you want me to get on, comment down below, message me on Instagram, AFL Info Live, any draftees you want to see on for Gold King challenges, anything like that, message me, and I'll try and get it all done. So I would love to get more guests in the AFL, AFLW, VFL, VFLW, draftees on the channel. More content, the better for not only myself, but for you guys. And I always try and get more guests for you guys every single day. So just please remember that. And I'm recording more videos while I'm recording this. So I better get to that. Thank you all. Go Saints. And of course, acknowledge me, the one. And all aboard the Filippo and Saints train.